if you're a doctor like me, your energy levels will fluctuate massively depending on how much you've worked recently, whether you're on nights, whether you've just done weekends. There'll be times where you just don't want to do that work that you should be doing on your YouTube channel, that period of deep work that you scheduled, but you just don't feel like doing it. In this video, I'm going to tell you about right now, me overcoming such a problem. I just don't feel like doing this, don't feel like putting the work in, and how I like to look at it and how to overcome that. So by the end of the video, you'll have a better ability to, even when you're feeling not good and you don't want to put a bit of work into your YouTube videos, you're going to do it anyway. Okay, 1 hour of deep work on YouTube when unmotivated, or demotivated I should really say, but too late now, let's carry on. Here's what we're going to cover today. Discipline over motivation, the power of showing up. Number 2, building a routine, consistency beats inspiration. And number 3, execution, focus, prioritizing action over results. So share this video if you think someone will like it. You can watch this at double speed, and you can join the community if you're a doctor who is motivated to work on YouTube, an aspiring YouTuber just like myself. Get involved in the community where we will have a community of like-minded people, inspiration, motivation, tips, etc. So, discipline over motivation, the power of showing up. So I don't feel motivated to work today. I really don't. I was pretty flat, didn't have energy, and I just couldn't get myself feeling good about it, about doing this, about making the video. And then I tried to think of ways of how I could feel better, but I couldn't. So I just decided, I remembered that sometimes it's okay to not feel like doing it, but to do it anyway. So, commitment over feelings. Discipline means committing to your work schedule, regardless of how you feel. Motivation can be inconsistent, but a strong commitment ensures that you show up every day. This dedication builds a habit that becomes ingrained over time. So, the habit really is following your intention, not your feeling, because it's your feeling. In an ideal world, you will feel inspired to, do the work you're meant to be doing. Like, if you're an aspiring YouTuber, like yourself or myself, we aren't going to feel inspired every day to do it. And in an ideal world, we would, and it would be great, and we would do it every day. But I've noticed that I need to do this every day. I need to be consistent, and I can't rely on my feelings. I can't rely on my motivation. So therefore, I'm going to rely on discipline and intention instead. Okay? And that's okay, because I know today, if I didn't do this, I would also feel low energy. I'd also feel bad. I'd probably feel worse. So I may as well feel bad while doing the work, and then feeling good and a sense of achievement after it. Consistency is key. Successful individuals prioritize consistency over sporadic effort. So by maintaining a regular work schedule, you ensure steady progress towards your goals. Even on low energy days, showing up can lead to unexpected productivity. Consistency is key. If you're really serious about a task or a project, or you want to ensure reaching your goals in the long term, you want to be consistent. You want to be doing the days when you don't feel like doing it. And if you show up on those days, that's a really positive sign for your future. And if you say, nah, not today, that's a really negative sign. So you want to think about that. All the successful people, they are able to show up on the days they don't want to. Learning from high achievers. So high achievers emphasize the importance of discipline in their success stories. They often attribute their progress to their ability to work through low motivation periods or through hard times. These examples of high achievers showing up consistently is often the most critical factor in long-term success. Okay. Building a routine, consistency beats inspiration. So, establishing a daily schedule. This is something I'm trying to do now. It's going to be hard as a doctor because your working day changes. You will have days off. You will have long days. You will have evening shifts. You will have night shifts. So it's hard to hold on to routine, especially in your YouTube work. But if you can hold on to something That's very important. So creating a daily schedule helps turn deep work into a habit. By allocating specific times for your YouTube work, you reduce the mental effort required to start. This routine helps you transition smoothly into focused work sessions. So it shouldn't really be a decision. When you make decisions, then you're kind of considering your emotions, your feelings. But if it's a routine, if it's something you do, when you wake up in the morning, you just do a bit of YouTube work, or in the evening before you go to bed. If it's at the same time every day, where that time is allocated for you to do YouTube work, then over time it becomes less of a choice, less of a decision, and it's more likely you'll just turn up and do a bit, even on the days you don't really feel like it. Like, you're already kind of there, you're already sitting on your desk at that time, so the resistance to start doing it is a lot less. And so if you're feeling like you don't want to do it, well, you're already there, it's already a habit, so it becomes easier. Training your mind and body. A consistent routine trains your mind and body to prepare for deep work sessions. Over time, your brain associates certain times of day with productivity, making it easier to dive into work. This conditioning reduces the struggle of starting work each day. Accumulating small efforts. So regular efforts, even if small, accumulate into significant progress. By focusing on consistency, you ensure continuous improvement. This approach emphasizes steady, incremental gains over time, instead of just bursts of effort. And you will see this. So if you recognize your small, consistent efforts, over time you will build that motivation, because you'll realize that how important it is to keep up the momentum on days when you're not feeling like you want to work. And I think that's the key, is just keeping up momentum. Not keeping up motivation, because you don't really have control over that. Yes, you'll get motivated at certain times, certain phases, at the start, or maybe when a good video does well, or but there'll be hard times as well. Momentum is through consistent action, and that will build up over time despite how you feel, despite your motivations. You want to keep up the momentum despite the fluctuating motivation. Okay, and execution focus, prioritizing action over results. The final section. So you want to break down tasks. Breaking down tasks into manageable steps makes starting less intimidating. Smaller tasks are easier to tackle and can quickly build momentum. This method ensures that you make progress even when larger projects seem overwhelming. So I think often we can feel demotivated if we are thinking about the results, or if we're thinking about the big picture and how we're not at the place we want to be with YouTube, for example. But if you break it down into the day, into the system, into the process, and into the small tasks, okay, I want to do 1 hour of deep work. That's it. And I don't care if I sit there for 1 hour and do nothing other than just stare at the screen. But if that's the case, if you're really unproductive, you're still at least trying, you're still sitting down, you're still trying to do that deep work. So don't obsess over the results, don't obsess over the productivity. On the really hard days, just try, just commit to the process. Setting short-term goals, this can really help. So setting short-term achievable goals helps you stay motivated and focused. Each small victory reinforces your commitment and builds confidence. This practice helps maintain a steady pace of work and prevents burnout. So you'll get better at making achievable, realistic goals that aren't overreaching, that are realistic. And you can also get better at making the goals process focused, not result focused. So it doesn't matter about views, it doesn't matter about subscribers. You want to just really break it down into I want to work 1 hour every day on YouTube, and I want to take that off every time I do it, and I want to do 30 days in a row of that, for example. That's the way I look at it. A step up from that is I want to release a video every day. But yeah, if you really break it down into simple terms, it might not even be releasing a video. It might be just putting a period of time into making the video. I really try and take my mind out of the results aspect of it, because that's when you're That's when you rush things, that's when you burn out, that's when you get frustrated, because a lot of these things aren't in your control. Especially as a beginner, you want to focus on the system, the priority, the building the habit. Let's say you do get successful, your YouTube kicks off, and you're feeling really excited and happy or whatever. You might get complacent. So I don't want that to be the case. I think you want to just stick to your system and keep going. And if you get success, great. Just keep going with your system. And that's how you stay grounded. That's how you stay humble. And that's how you keep putting the work in. If your self-esteem is based on your output, your work output, and not on what you get back. So it's based on what you control, what you give out, and not what you get. Results will happen over time. Great. But more importantly, you can be as happy now as you will be with results because you're happy because of your output. That's the way I try and look at it. Of course, very hard to get into that frame of mind, but you can just with, pat on the back every day about your system. So valuing progress over perfection, focusing on action rather than the perfect results reduces stress and anxiety. By prioritizing progress, you learn to appreciate the effort you put in rather than obsessing over outcomes. This shift helps sustain long-term productivity and satisfaction. Absolutely. Okay, so I hope you learned something today. In summary, discipline trumps motivation. Commit to showing up and putting in the work regardless of how you feel. Consistency is more reliable than waiting for motivation. Establish a routine. Create a daily or weekly schedule that includes dedicated deep work sessions. Consistency in your routine builds habits that leads to sustained productivity. Focus on action, not results. Break tasks into manageable steps and set short-term goals to maintain momentum. Prioritize progress and action over perfection to reduce stress and ensure continuous improvement. Leave you with a quote. We all have dreams, but in order to make dreams come into reality, it takes an awful lot of determination, dedication, self-discipline, and effort. Jesse Owens. Let's get to work and join my community. If you're a doctor and a YouTuber, get in there. See you on the inside.